is Save-A-Lot in the Eustis, Florida. And you see, wonderful neighborhood. Over here, in that general direction, and you'll notice it's nighttime, is where the bus used to stop. Right over there between us and Walgreens. Now, in its great enthusiasm for saving money, the Lake County Connection stopped servicing this area. Okay? Now, can you imagine going from Save-A-Lot with your children, being a handicapped person, all the way to a bus stop that seems an eternity away? And you notice that it's raining this evening, and this is what I have to do when I go shopping with my kids, because I don't have a car and I don't have any other means of getting here, nor am I rich enough to afford a cab every time I want to go shopping. Okay? First, I don't know if you can see it, it's kind of dark out here, but first, there's this giant downslope, which when it's raining and when you have a lot of packages is terrible. Now, can you even see the other end of this road? Of course not, because it's pitch black. This is what someone with two children, one of them 5 and one of them 2, has to suffer through to get to the bus stop. Now you will see that you can see headlights, but there is no illumination in this whole area. Now, I walk with heavy packages and my disability down this road. The same road that someone in a wheelchair would have to take as well. Lake County Connection, which runs the transportation system, says that we should get out here the bus before and wait in the dark, for a bus to show up to take us to Lake Tech, which is where they moved the bus stop to. I mean, you can't even see anything on my camera because it's pitch black, obviously. I mean, up there in the distance is the light. Now, I've been walking at a fast pace because obviously I don't have a lot of time, you know? But could you imagine walking in the rain, as I am right now, with 2 children? Alright, now I'm walking with my son, Benjamin, at this moment, who's making comments in the background, and I mean, I'm huffing and puffing trying to walk and talk at the same time. Could you imagine trying to walk all of this distance, all of this, right? All the way in harder rain than it is raining now, and I mean, I'm getting wet doing this. You know, it's dark, it's scary. I mean, someone could walk up to you before you knew it. You know, and I mean, we're living, you know, in hard times. You know, now you got to walk all this distance to catch the bus to go home. And it's a long, long walk. I mean, a long walk. I am just now passing, what's that, Oakland Street, and still I have to walk to the light, right? And you would think, oh, well, there's a bus stop here for people who have to catch the bus. But you'd be wrong, because you have, at this point, two options. You can, and I got to get to the corner of Kurt Street and Artist Street. You have two choices. You can continue down a street, and you can't see it because obviously it's dark, but a street with no sidewalk, and catch a bus over there, or you can walk the next quarter mile, which I have to do, crossing the street illegally because I wasn't paying attention, but the next quarter mile to where Lake Tech is. This is a burden no one should have to carry, particularly handicapped. You know, this is unsafe. As unsafe as it gets. You know, you used to catch the bus. If it's raining, if for some reason climate changed and it started snowing, would you imagine walking in this in the rain and snow, to get where you're going? Can you see anything? Because it's dark. There are house lights there, and over there, but it does not illuminate the area. If there were a patch of something on the ground that I could slip on, I wouldn't see it until after I had fallen. There are no street lights illuminating this area. The first street light is well ahead of us. So imagine my concern with bringing my children through all of this darkness. And as you can hear, this is hard work. I'm a disabled veteran. I think I deserve a bus stop closer to where I go shopping. The only place I can go shopping in the Eustis area that's open should I need to go shopping late. And still, you will see that it isn't until you reach Kurt Street and Seminole Avenue that the first overhead light comes into effect, and it doesn't illuminate the bloody road. It illuminates one little bit of corner, whereas the rest of it's, again, in the dark. So someone could stand behind somewhere and grab a handicapped person and hurt them, and no one would even notice. There's no one here. This is dead this type of evening, which is another thing that is ridiculously funny in a sort of insane kind of funny, because I'm dragging my child who's stumbling through this area, and right there. Can you see anything? No. You know why? Because it's a blind corner. There is nothing on this road. I'm filming this at night, knowing I'm not going to get any visibility, to show you what I have to go through. I don't deserve, after serving in the military, to have to be afraid to walk in a Florida street, and get hurt. This is silly. And I'm going on and on, but here and there are lights. Does not illuminate the area well enough for someone to walk. Not to mention this great distance. It's ridiculously far away. Lake Tech is not a convenient 5-minute walk. You're lucky it takes you 10, maybe 15 minutes, depending on how you feel. And I'm not even there yet. I'm just seeing the Lake Tech sign. Give me the bag. Give me the bag. And here we go. We continue to walk, and this is ridiculous. This is not something someone with children and a disability should have to put up with. They had to stop. They were supposed to work something out with these people so that people like me would be able to shop. People like the elderly wouldn't have to shop inconveniently. No one in their right mind takes this walk without being afraid. Look how dark this video is. Look how uncompromisingly dark this video is. Now we get to Lake Tech. Now there are tons of well-lit areas in the parking lot because cars should be well-lit, but that doesn't make sense because why aren't the sidewalks well-lit? You know, I'm walking under a tree and you can't even see it, so you walk into a limb from the tree without seeing it. So you get, a tree in the face because the tree limbs themselves are chest high to me, and I'm 6 foot tall, which means that those tree limbs dip all the way down to 4 feet. If they were on somebody's private property, that'd be one thing. This is a public street where you can't walk on the sidewalk. And here we get to the bus. This is their grand plan. This is where they want you to wait for the last bus. Okay? Picture this. Here we have the bus stop. Okay? It is supposed to be a lit kiosk. As you can see, the light is not on because you can't see the light. It's not on. Duh. They have a solar panel and a battery. Well, what good is the solar panel and the battery if it doesn't light the bloody fracking light? You have the middle of nowhere. We're in the middle of nowhere. I've got a 5-year-old child. Say hi.
Hi.
Can you see him? Say hi.
Hi.
You can hear his voice, but you can't see him. Guess what? There's no light here, morons. There is a closed school. Closed. So there's no protection. They got a cop in there. They got a cop in there that stops you from going to the bathroom so your children piss themselves. A state-run facility, a county-run facility, whatever facility, you can't go to pee because you're not faculty. And yet they put a bus stop here. In the artist parking lot, you go into Save Lot, guess what you can do? You can pee. Your children don't pee themselves. Y'all should be embarrassed. Y'all should be sad. This is dark and dangerous. Check this out. There's someone sitting, listening to their radio, laughing. Laughing. You know why they're laughing? Because they're in the dark. They can't be seen. Y'all can't chase that person down. Do you feel safe? Do you feel safe? Is it not dark? Is it not dark as frack out here? If some crazy a-hole pulled up and dragged this young lady, and I'm giving it away. She's a young lady, by the way, out of her, where she sit, into a car, and a cop to be seen in 50 miles. And a cop to be seen in the middle of the night.
This was supposed to be wild. Police station right in Canary.
There's a police station over a mile away. There's a school right here. They have a cop stop you from going into school. You getting mugged out here, the cop's like, ain't my problem. It ain't on our property. Seriously, think about it. This is dangerous. Dangerous for a normal person. Dangerous for a young woman. Especially a young woman, because there's dangerous men around here. Anyone stop and think that this was a good idea ought to be voted out of every office. The toilet office, the subway office, and y'all need to build a subway, because that would make it even more fun to rant about it. Anyway, it's dangerous for normal people, and it's especially dangerous for the disabled.